Hey guys, and welcome back. In this video we'll be going over the directives, or also known as the Pseudo Op code, so stick around for that. Okay, so quickly before going to the main subject, I did update the Eclipse. I was running Oxygen and I just updated for Photon version, so I did have to reinstall. Oh, here it is. Let me re-download the what's in Eclipse, and here, as you see, it's working properly now. And I didn't install the dark theme, simply because since dark, this is using the default dark, because the dark actually kind of got like a mask effect with the assembler color. So if I had green, and probably would show like, I don't know, like pink or some other colors, and have to keep changing to get the right color. So I just decided just to stick to the default black. So now let's go over what is a directive or a pseudo op. And that pretty much is a instruction for the assembler, meaning that, like over here, so let me go back to your assembler over here, and if the directive is highlighted yellow and I put pseudo op as pink, and if I go to my content assistant, you see over here all of this, for example, is in yellow. So it's pretty much a instruction for the compiler, and all of them has a different behavior, pretty much like a normal instruction. That's why I sometimes refer as the pseudo op, because for example in this one I'm saying repeat 3, so it's repeating this code as stored wsync 3 times and so forth. So each one of these has a different meaning, but like I said, this is specifically this is specific instructions by the assembler. So the assembler is gonna see this. You might not like, or do need some values to go with it, and then a behavior is gonna happen. So each one of them is different. And some people's, well, a lot of other people are gonna say that a pseudo op is different than a directive. They say pseudo op, for example, is like the name suggests, pseudo, which is pretty much means a kind of like a counterfeit, something that looks real but it's not. So if you take any computer classes, normally they show you like a pseudo code. It's not a real code, but it's a representation of a real code. So a pseudo op, for example, I know there's I don't know which chipset that is, but there's a, that doesn't contain the NOP over here. If I go to my content assist, NOP no operation, which pretty much just take 2 cycles to complete, something that's like a wait command if you ever took Java or C++. And this, I forgot the name of the chipset, but it doesn't have the NOP instruction. So a assembler would come in and give you a NOP. So you type NOP, and then behind the scenes, I don't know, you pretty much have another, I don't know, probably bit takes 2 cycles, so something like that. Just takes 2 cycles. So it looks like a NOP, but it really isn't. It's just the assembler doing works behind the scenes. And if you think about it, all pseudo ops are directives. So pretty much that's why, as you see over here, all of this processor include segment origins, if you go to preference, go to assembler, and directive is all yellow, so all of this are represented as yellows. I mean as a directive. However, let me bring here my the documents for DASM on my DASM folder. Go over DASM. Let me go all the way over here, which has a lot of good material over here. If you use like command line on DASM, we don't need to because the Watson plugin will help us with that. And just to quickly show you, come over here, let's go to preference, assembler, we're using the tire 2600, DASM, here's some parameters, F3, V5, so V verbose, and some F should be somewhere over here, output, bunch of 3. So here you can see all the format and all the options, the verbose and so forth. But if you see over here, like the processor model, let me go over, like pseudo ops include. I'll go back. I was reading with the processor pseudo op. As you see, the documentation itself refers to the processor as a pseudo op, even though the assembler considers that a directive. But as you see, just to prove one more time, this is the exact same thing. So here we have some of the available directives that we have over here. So I have the processor. Let me go quickly through most of them. The processor, tell which processor it is, and if you go any more bigger description over here, it's a and here you have the 6502, the least significant bit to the most significant bit. So this is if it's a big Indian or little Indian difference. Here's all the other supported processors. Then you have the segment, SEG, so you have over here, which is gonna segment our code. Probably go over most of them in another video. So you have an include, that's gonna include another file over here. So here you have the VCS and the macros. I'm gonna go macros some other time. And if you come over here, as you see over here, you have a label, you have a TS, declare space and then 1. You have your origin for your segment. You have a repeat, and have what else we have here? We have dot word, which remember our word is a 2 bytes, so a 16-bit. And here we have and so forth. And of course, let me go to my content assistant. As you see, the gray one is our instructions. And if I go, just to show you guys really quick, if I go to assembler, tire 2600, let me put illegal opcodes. I'm applying codes, applying close. So right over here, you see this red chipset. That's their illegal opcodes that I went from the previous video. So let me just turn it off. And don't worry, the colors of the I changed the color for label to another color, but it will come back eventually. So there it is, it's back. So as you see, I was saying the yellow chip means the instructions, and this kind of box looking thing, this is our directives, and pretty much like our instructions over here, which it's the highlighted are mnemonics. So I don't know, like this one, branch on result minus, so B, then it's highlighted MI, branch on result minus, and so forth. No operation, and so forth. So that's all the directives. So this is aligned by declare constant. You know what? I'm gonna make another video going to most of them, but it's pretty much really short. So I'm gonna go pretty much in the next video. I'm gonna go through most of them. It's pretty much pretty easy. And then probably a little bit later you're gonna go over macros, which is part of the assembler. So with that in mind, that's it for this video, and see you guys on the next one. Thank you.